from how to anything. Today we're going to build a 16-inch planter box. It's going to be 10 inches deep, and the 16 inches is going to be on the inside, not on the outside. Alright, so you're going to need about 4 pickets for this. These are simply a regular picket that I ripped the kerf out of the middle. This is 2 7/16, and this is 2 15/16 after I cut them. But you know, you're going to have a little bit of variation. The reason why I did that is because I want this facing forward where you can see it, and I'm going to hide the short edges. So now, the narrow ones go with the long ones. I cut these at 17 3/16. I cut these at 16 inches. These are going to be the bottom and the bottom support. The wider ones are going to go with the shorter ones. And the way I determine the length of those shorter ones, I'm going to show you here real quick. Because your wood thickness may vary. So if you take 2 of these and line them up over here, you're going to see that we're basically flush. Actually, we're really flush. So you just need to know how thick it is, and you determine your long length. Get 2 of your side pieces, put them on here, scribe the line, cut it off. You're good to go. Alright, so let's keep our pieces all organized. We want the thick, wide legs with the shorter pieces, the long pieces with the narrow legs. Now the next thing you're going to want to make sure is these I planed. You can sand them, you can do whatever you want. I want to make sure that these sides are going to show, and the rough side is going to be on the inside. Some of you may be concerned that, you know, the glue may not hold up as well if it's got a rough surface to glue to, and it's a valid point. But for today, I'm not too terribly concerned with it. I'm going to try to bang this out as fast as I can. After I'm done, I want to introduce myself, chit-chat with you guys, and see how it goes. So here we go. Alright, so I'm going to take 2 of each, and ugly side up, ugly side up, ugly side up. You're going to need a square. You're going to need some glue. I'm not going to go crazy with these and brad nail them. I'm just going to brad nail them. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say I wasn't going to brad nail them. So let's get to it here. I'm just kind of picking up my lines, squaring up the top. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to put a little bit of glue in here. I think that's always a good idea. This is exterior glue, and that might squeeze out a little bit, but I'm not terribly concerned about it because speed is what I'm going for. And some might say that I'm pretty slow at this. Alright, so alright. I'm not completely happy with that. That's good. I got 1-inch brads. Put some on this side. Hold it flush, make sure your tips are good. Tips are good. I'm not fishing for tips. I think that's good. Got me a little high. I got planes that I like to use to shave those tops off. We're going to go over at the end, we're going to go over a miter joint, and we're also going to go over a butt joint. So you can see that is going to be the outside. It's a little cleaner than this nasty looking inside. And I'm okay with that. So put some glue on here. I think I left about 1.5 inches at the bottom for clearance underneath the planter box. Just kind of rub it around. These boards, you know, this is, you see it rocking. You know, that's one of the things you get when you're dealing with fence pickets. And this fence picket project is a pretty typical one, really. I'm going to go ahead and tack this top in here. I'm kind of tilting this at an angle. My brads are short enough. If you're using 1.25 inch brads, you're definitely going to have to put them at an angle. And if you don't, you're going to not be really happy when they pop through the other side. Alright, so there's one side. Now we're going to do the same thing for the other. Same pieces, same scenario. Ugly side up. Actually, this side's not terribly ugly, but this is. So these are the best sides. I'm just kind of getting an idea of, you know, where everything goes, just to make sure I don't put too much glue in the wrong spot. Sorry, I can't chew bubble gum, walk and talk at the same time. Kind of swish it around a little bit. Put your square back on. These squares, if you don't have one, you really need to have one to do any kind of little project like this. I can't tell you how important it is to keep your project square. You'll figure it out in the end. If you don't, you'll be like, what the hell just happened here? I hope y'all are having fun. It's a Friday night. And this is hopefully kind of breaking it up for you. This isn't going to be a long process. You know, I gave you all the measurements, and you can cut these yourself beforehand. You know, it didn't really take that long to cut these down, but depends on how you want to do it. You know, I have a table saw. You can definitely do it with a circular saw if that's the route you want to go. I saw it move there, so I'm going to kind of double check here. The bottom kind of slipped. The bottom slipped a little bit. This is the inside of the box. Now you got 2 panels. Put this one on. Lines up good. I know I should probably be spreading the glue. For those of you that may not do very much woodworking, it does actually help to reduce the squeeze out. There's piece if you kind of spread it. It's not required, but you don't get, with this cedar, you don't get perfect contact because it's so rough. But you're only talking, about 10 pounds of dirt, maybe 15 pounds of dirt that's going, or soil, I'm sorry, pardon me, soil. You're going to want garden soil, not garden soil. You're going to want potting soil for this. And it's a good idea to put some type of void fill in the bottom. Just, it helps to take up some of the compaction. And there's some squeeze out for you. I know this is a no-no, but I'm working on the equivalent of a gum wrapper ball on the back side of my workbench. When it gets to be the largest glob of glue on a workbench, then I'll probably make a big deal about it. I'm not really happy about that. Those are going to make some silver pointies. Okay, so now let's put one of these here. Here's my good sides. What we're talking about right there. So we're going to tack these down the side, then we're going to come back in and put these other ones in. Change the rotation. You guys may not be able to see as well as I can, but you know why I'm doing this. Get my little scrap wood glue spreader. Kind of spread that out a little bit. If you really want to put some glue on here, you can do it like this. This end grain will drink the glue up. But I want to make sure that I pull it towards the inside first, and then kind of spread it. Kind of like that. Yeah, that would have been bad. Glue it the wrong way. So, just line it up. Let me get these bottom retainer pieces out of the way. This is something that I do quite often, and it's really kind of up to you, but I'm going to go ahead and do it and show you why I do this, because it helps to give you a little bit of clearance for your nail gun. Now I'm going to have to obviously position this right over here. You got 10 minutes to work with this Type Bond 3. Sorry I'm not looking at the camera, but anyway, that gives me a little bit of clearance on the bottom side. I'm just going to flip this guy upside down. I'm using 1-inch stainless brads, and I still have enough. I'm going to have to reload before I finish this. I'm going to pop in four on these corners. Just flip it around, do the same thing on this side. Put a little bit of glue squeeze out. Add to the glue collector. Whoop, excuse me. Add to the glue collection. There we go. You don't want to nail the wrong board on. That would be a bummer. You may say, what's this guy know about gardening? Well, I can tell you. I may not be a master gardener by any means, but I come from a family of people that have been doing gardening for a long time. My sister's a landscape architect, and I was free labor for my mother for quite some time. I'm just going to stick this on here, smear it around a little bit, and add a little more glue. I go overboard on the glue, folks. Kind of put it in a little bit. Let it soak. If I got any squeeze out on the inside, which is this side, I don't really care. I gotta adjust this a little bit. I like to keep a little edge here to catch the tip of my gun, because I'm old and I can't see as well as I did when I was a scrapping young man. 4 of them. Don't shoot through knots. I almost did right there. Your nails will shoot out this way and that way. So shooting like this is not what you want to do. Little pointer there for you. Alright, so that's the glue on there. That'll sand off. I have a wet rag here somewhere. Well, for the sake of this video, let's pretend that this is a wet rag. Wet rags help a little more. Yeah, that's a bummer. Less than ideal there. So I'm going to have to make sure that I angle these brads just a little bit more than I have been. Okay, so put that one there. Ugly side. You may not have the best angle on this, but let me show you. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm smear it around. Yeah, I'm definitely, I got a little bit off there on that one. If this was a large planter box, that may be more concerning. That, I don't know, 16th, maybe a 32nd. Give me my little lip on the back. It's Friday night. Hope y'all are having a good evening. I want to thank everybody for joining in. We'll see how much longer it takes. Ugly side in. I thought maybe I fouled that up. When I tip it up, I put a heavier bead on the inside because it's going to run downhill. Squish it around. This one actually did pretty good. Hope you guys can make some of these this weekend if that's what you want to do. I've been cutting grass, pulling weeds, trenching the edges of my borders for the last few days, and I really needed a break. So, you know, part of the reason why I may have had that gap is that last edge, I didn't put that board on the front. Okay, I'm a Lowe's partner, and that is my Lowe's Quiet Tech air compressor. And I'll put a link in the description when I list this. If you want to purchase anything, the channel or I will get a small commission. Any support is greatly appreciated. That's kind of perplexing. This board here has got a little bit more of a cut, so it's one of the things you have to kind of work out. I know it's going to push this out a little bit. So I'm going to try to select, hopefully, a board that's shorter, but I think I pretty much cut them all to the same exact length. Because I stacked them and cut them. Yep. So, well, there you go. In a situation like this, I'm going to put the bottom one in first, because if I don't, the other boards may not fit the way I want them to. Or I'd have to go out and cut them. And since it's dark outside, and I do the majority of my cutting outside, I don't want to go that route. Alright, so let's try not to pop them through the other side now. I'm going to clamp this a little bit, just to kind of help hold it. You can see it's kind of splaying open. You can see the angles there. And this one's not wide enough. And my 2-footers. I'll be right back. Couple Jorgensen 2-foot clamps. I am not going to put hardly any pressure on this. Literally just trying to kind of square it up, but I'm going to use one of these other boards that are laying on the table, like right now. should open this more. All I'm doing here is I'm going to use this to kind of make a temporary square frame for myself. All my pieces are cut uniformly, so that is going to go a long way to helping this stay square. I just want to make sure that when I tighten this down, I'm in line. Let me show you, let me get a little closer because this is going to fall off. That I'm in line with this board right here so that I don't distort it. And that's good enough. Just tiny clamping pressure here. I got several of these. Now if I tweak it, you can tweak these things quite a bit. You can see that it's square there and it's square there, but if I let go of it, it's going to splay open a little bit. But that's okay. Don't sweat the small stuff at this point. Alright, so we got that one in there. Let's get another one. Make sure you have the fancy side out. I'm going to stick a little glue on here. Like I said, you got 10 minutes to work with this. Remember I said that this side here was a little proud, so it's going to create a little bit of a gap right here that I'm going to have to deal with. Just make sure your corners will look good. I think I might have missed that side just a little bit, but catching the right angle here. Leaning it down, and I'm also leaning it away, so it effectively shortens the length of that brad, so I don't keep popping through the sides. I got a little gap over here that I'm not terribly thrilled with, but this was the high point, and that seems to be a uniform gap right there, so I'm okay with that. You're not going to see it because I'm going to have top on here. Alright, so that's all nailed together. Let's take this temporary clamp off. Now we're going to well, I ran out of nails. Let's grab some more. Pardon me. While I'm doing this, you can look at my little walnut bowl that I turned on the lathe. As I'm struggling to find my brads. There we go. While I'm here, let me check in. We got Ray, Michael, fishing and hunting outdoors. Hey man, welcome, first time. Hey y'all, check out that guy's channel, man. He catches some monster catfish. Crazy. I'm gonna scroll through here real quick. I kind of thought this would be faster. There's LJ. Thanks, brother. Deneen, I hope you're feeling better. I know you have to be. It's been a couple months since you had your surgery. All right, well, I'm gonna put some brads in here since I'm an idiot. But we'll go back to this. We'll slap in the bottom supports, and I'm going to wrap it up and join you guys for a little BS session. Hey, any of y'all that, let me actually, pardon me, let me make some of you guys mods. And Deneen, do you want to be a mod? I just made Ray a mod. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you know what? I intended to put this on my first, hey, Opath. I was going to do this on my first live on that new channel. I just now realized that I had to default and change that up because they would only let 25 people join in. So I figured I would do it with a much different one. Deneen wants to be a mod. All right. Deneen, ask and deliver. All right, let me fix this since I screwed up and didn't put my brads in my gun. Well, I did, but I just ran out of them. Oh, I nailed right through my hand. Just kidding. You guys say, man, Joe, you butthole. Since I don't know where I ran out at, and I didn't put the handle on that one, I'm sure I just popped another silver spot through. Okay. Now you guys can see the bottom. I just got a glue glob on the outside here because I was being sloppy. I'm still going to sand it. All right, crappy side to the inside. Crappy side to the inside. Last time around I was flushing everything up on this edge, and I'm going to continue to do that. But I wanted to give you guys a shot of the bottom here where you can see the legs. I was going to chamfer these legs, and I decided that I wasn't going that route today. I'm going to let that run down. Crappy side to the inside. Squeeze that side together. Put one in. You can see them lips. This board's got a good bit of cup to it. Guarantee you we're going to have some squeeze out on that. Alright. Looks good. I'm a big fan of clamps, and I'll clamp this thing typically. I'm probably not going to put the top on tonight because it's kind of getting a little late. Don't shoot through knots. Hope you can see. Alright, so a lot of this you can work out, but that's really not bad at all. This side here is just a little on the left side, like maybe a 32nd of an inch. Okay, so here's the bottom. And then we got those strips. These are just offcuts of pressure treated that I used. And I'm just gonna put a glob on here. Brad nail this together. This would be one of the items that I would want to clamp and leave with pressure on it. So I'm going to brad nail this together, and I'm going to drop the bottom in for this video, and then I'll pull the bottom back. Well, you know, I don't have to. I can turn it upside down and just clamp it. I'm going to flush the bottom. You guys can't see, but you know, pretty self-explanatory. This is much thicker, so I guess I don't have to worry about angling it. And I cut these to about, I don't know, 15 3/4, maybe a little bit longer than that. I just, you know, that kind of clearance really doesn't matter at all. Kind of heavy on one end there. I don't have any feeling in this thumb and this finger, so that's kind of a challenge sometimes. Okay, you know how stupid I am? I just nailed it to the top. Well, damn it. Now, what do you do? Other than look like some kind of ding dong, where are some pliers? Alright, so let me grab a little chisel here. How many of you guys knew that I was nailing it to the other end? Dadgummit. I just made a good lid. Because I'm blind. You know what real life is? Full of experiences just like that. Here's my one-piece mallet I made out of a 2x6 piece of oak. If I had more of these cut, I got more of them right down. I got a whole stack over there, but I don't have any of them cut down to 15 7/8 or whatever I cut them to. So now you get a little demonstration on how to, one way to pull brads. Hopefully you don't drive your fingers into like these. Just be aware of where they all are. I'm getting glue all over my hands now. check out my planter box. This is a project that I'm gonna probably get the video out on, probably tomorrow. It's basically all done. Anybody that does woodworking knows there's moments of dumbass, and when they arise, you just fix them. Oh no. Well, let's just do this. This won't take long. You guys are going to get some impromptu. Where is, we're going to cut a few of these down. This will be quicker than pulling the nails, since that one was cracking on me. I'm just going to cut these off. Keep my fingers out of the way. I saw bourbon moth grinds off like 1 inch of these things on the bottom. I'm probably going to do that actually, because that hurt. I got a bum thumb. Pretty gnarly. Can't say that I'm completely thrilled with this brand right here. It was cheap. That part I like. All right, so now we got 2 more. Let's try to stick them on the correct side this time. Hey, CD, you're out of here, man. We got Steve-O. Hey, wow, we got 50 in here. All right, let's go ahead and slap this on here. Hey, hit the like button, y'all. Greatly appreciated. I'm going to flip this around and nail it to the correct side. And if I nail it to the other side again, I'm really going to be disappointed in Ray for not pointing out to me. Ray, you're supposed to scream loud enough that when I'm videoing, even though I can't hear you, you're supposed to say, hey, ding dong, you're putting it on the wrong end. Just kidding, folks. All right, I got glue oozing in every which way here. I'm going to clean my table up a little bit. I'll reuse those later for something else. I'm not too terribly concerned about the inside of the planter having brown glue that lines on it. All right, now can we rewind? Let's put them on the correct side. All right, let's go. All right, now we're going to put these guys in. Actually, I'm probably going to put the pretty side on the inside on these, like this. You guys can see that. Let me tip it up. Now this should fit perfectly. Or not. So, let's see what this does. That's too short. Alright, so this is going to be a little tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put each piece on the outside. I'm going to allow for about 1/8 of an inch down this side, 1/8 of an inch down this side. And I'll shoot these in and then I'll show you. Actually, let's raise the sky cam. If I can see. Sorry guys, I tried. I'll raise it up some. I was going to go for a real high view. So I'm going to put those two in here because I'm going to throw clamps on those bottom pressure treated boards anyway. That way you can kind of see the gaps I'm going with. I'm not going to drill holes in this because of the way I'm doing this. And you notice I did not put any glue on this. I used to glue them, but I quit doing that here recently because if you want to replace your bottom boards and you glue them down, you potentially could have problems. And if they start rotting out and they're just brad nailed in, they're supported by this rail on the bottom anyway. There's really no need to glue them in here unless you're worrying about the squareness being distorted, which reminds me, it's not perfect, it's pretty close. But after some expansion and contraction, it's going to shift on me anyway. I'm going to show you a miter joint that I've been doing on this one that's sitting next to me. As soon as I kind of go over this little piece right here, you know, for those of you that don't know what a butt joint is, I'm not even sure these are the same width. They're not. This is a butt joint. This will not spread as badly as a miter joint, which miter joint do it from your end so you can see it better. Miter joint's going to be like this, and these have tendency to move as this gets moist, dry, hot, cold, shrink, expand, all that. It moves. So plan on which type you want to go with that. I'm going to rip down this other piece. I'm going to have to take off, I don't know, probably 3/8 of an inch and drop this piece in the center. You can still drill holes in this if you want to. There's the bottom. Now let me show you this joint over here, because this joint is pretty slick. You know, you can lap these. You can do like, what do they call that? Not Amish, they call it shaker style. Shaker style cabinets, you know, they'd meet up square on the ends. And you can do that with a lap joint on these corners. Conrad Wheeler does that. He laps his corners, and that's probably a fantastic way to do it. I'm going to do an example of that in the future. Let me get this out of the way. I don't know how long that took exactly, but like I've said 1,000 times before, it never goes as fast as I think it will. Actually, I'm going to give you a full demo on this whole, it's a window box planter. You can see I mitered these corners and I put this in here, and I'm going to leave this proud just like this. I'm going to cut these off. Well, I can do that right now, actually. I'll get my short one out, see how this works. Try not to shove my router off the table. I'm going to go with the smaller teeth. You guys can see that. That will help keep that shrinkage and expansion to a minimum. This is the jig that I made to do this. Basically, choose your widths. I did this one in a couple passes, but works like that. And realistically, you could, if you size this to match the base of your circular saw, you could use this with the circular saw to cut these. Cut your 45s, or you can just use this. Alright, so let me show you this guy. I screwed all 4 corners. I'm going to flip it around and show you the back. The back is key for how this goes together, because I did this with homemade cleats that offset for a 1-inch thick trim, which is how thick this is that's going on this particular house. So you can see I've screwed this. I got corner posts in here, and I got braces. The bracing, the way this bracing goes, this is important too, because here's the cleat on the back. This sits flush against your trim, and any sagging pressure here is supported on this back edge, which is against the side of the house. And There's another board like this that is going on the back side at the bottom to keep the box from tipping. It's got to be the same thickness as this top cleat. And for those of you that don't know what a cleat is, this is a 45 here. This goes down here. These are going to mount up underneath the window trim into the studs or plate, and this will hold this. And, you know, realistically, I know that these shorter ones are going to work on this particular job, but if you were going to pre-cut these, you're going to want to go like 17¼ inches so that you can pick up the studs in the exterior wall if you don't know where. Now, this isn't going to really work that well for siding, but this house has siding and it's got those vertical little slats, so it's going to work. And they're 1 inch thick, and they run vertically down like this. So this board's going to get cut and placed where the vertical slats are like this, so that everything sits flush and this doesn't cock and it's well supported. Because if you don't have a board here on the back, this downward load, it's going to want to try to tip, and it's going to want to try to lift this cleat off of this, and you don't want that. So I got these crosses on both ends, put bracing here. This one here hangs out quite a bit, but there's also another version that will have a piece of crown in here like this. It's not quite this wide. I wish I had a shorter board handy. Actually, it's going to go up under like this. It's going to go like this. Obviously, if it's crown, it's going to have these corners cut off, and it'll nest in here properly. But that's part of the reason why I did this. This sticks out 1 13/16, and the crown is going to go down 2 1/8 of an inch on that version. So let me come around and say hello to y'all. While I put some clamps on here and clean the glue off of this. Let me drop this thing down. All right. Okay, who we got in here? Hey, we got Determined DIY. Y'all check out his channel. Check out My Honey's Handmade, Steve-O. I'm sure everybody in here knows Steve. And you guys probably know Determined Daniel's channel for a while. Old Path. We still got Old Path. Great. Up, LBW. Next country here. I'm sorry. I don't have my mics on. I probably should have. All right. Let me grab a few of these light pressure clamps. While you guys comment. Missed one there. I guess I need to talk louder from back here. Check out Josh at Loud. Not the most expensive clamps. This is probably going to be my last planter box project. I'm about burnt out on these things. For those of you that haven't seen some of my other ones, I got several of them out there. Feel free to check them out if you'd like to. These go with this one. Like that. All right. Let me don my goggles here. Let's see, how long have I been on? 61 minutes. So that took me an hour to throw that together. Probably took me 30 minutes to cut everything. I was in and out of the house a few times, but so you can build that in a couple hours. If you wanted to batch them out, you could do even better. All right, hit the like button. Who is going to build one of these this weekend? That's what I want to know. Not me. I'm going to my daughter's graduation. Tomorrow is the graduation ceremony, and Saturday is the party. Banner has my logo in the middle, YouTube QR code on the left. Payments options on the right, specializing in locally sourced hardwoods. Well, I don't know what that is, but. Well, Steve-O's going live. Y'all check out Steve, my honey's handmade. He's going live in 35 minutes, making some more bowls on the lathe. Steve, I still got to make some pens with them blanks you sent me. Yeah, this is my youngest, Steve. She is the one that's moving to Ohio. So, hey, anybody that wants to join the channel membership, feel free. Don't think you have to. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'm trying to make this more of a regular thing. I was gonna shoot for every Saturday, and last Friday I had to push it forward, and today I had to push it forward because of her graduation. But I am going to be getting the trim for this tomorrow. So if I can get the time to get that finished tomorrow and then turn around and deliver it when I go to the graduation party, I will. So maybe I'll do a live, but it won't be at 7:30. It'll be early in the morning. So if you guys want to check that out, look for it. All right, anybody have any questions for me? Let me back it up a little more. You guys can see the mess underneath here. There we go. Thing was locked to the side. All right, so there's that. Good Lord. I need to do a shop cleanup day. Give you guys there's my stump stool. Spalted red oak. And we got a pile. Actually, I'm probably going to still do a few more cedar projects because I still got quite a bit of cedar left. Here's another planter box. Hey, Lazaro. Welcome, sir. Anyway, for those of you that are new here, I have a great variety of things that I do. Check out LJ Woodworks. Todd's a cool guy. It's a pretty small knit community here. I just saw your salute there, determined to DIY. He's been banging out some cabinets and all kinds of stuff. You guys check out my other channel if you want to. It's an even broader range of items. It's ageless influence, how to anything. I'm gonna have all kinds of stuff on there. I got cooking stuff. I got talking about my AdSense revenue. You know, it's just going to be all over the place. It probably won't really do good in the long run just because, you know, YouTube won't know who to show it to, but it's going to be a catch-all type thing of how to do various things. And I'm going to kind of keep it tailored to how to and DIY, you know. But this is going to be the bigger DIY with respect to around the house projects and woodworking on this. Make you a mod here. I'm trying to. All right, determined DIY, you're a mod. You can share your channel. You guys need to check him out. He's a new channel, upstart. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. Oh, man. All right, well, I can tell you, we're down to 37, but we got 27 likes. And man, I tell you what, that's pretty good for me. I'm pretty thrilled with that. I appreciate everybody hanging with me tonight. And I didn't see anybody asking me any particular questions. Everybody in here that's a regular, they probably know how to do this, but hopefully some other people find this and appreciate it, can make something from it. So there you go. We're going to call it a night. I want to say thanks to everybody for joining in. I hope I'm in the camera. I'm going to squat down here. I'm like 9 feet tall. Let me get down to like 6 feet. Oh, wait a minute. I'm only 6 feet tall. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Peace out.